Hi everyone, this is week 2 of Learning Disabilities Awareness Month, and today we're talking about something super important, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA for short. So what is IDEA? Well, it's a law that makes sure that all students with learning disabilities get the help they need at school. It was created to make sure that students with disabilities like dyslexia, ADHD, or other learning challenges have the same chance to learn as everyone else. But why is this so important? Let's break it down. First, IDEA helps students with disabilities get an individualized education designed to fit their unique learning needs. It's like having a map that helps them find the best way to learn. IDEA also makes sure that students with learning disabilities get the tools, technology, or special teaching methods that help them succeed. Whether it's using an iPad, working with a small group, or getting extra time on tests, these tools are there to support their learning. So why should we care about IDEA? Well, it helps create a school where everyone feels welcome and supported, no matter how they learn. It reminds us that learning differences are just that, differences. They don't stop anyone from achieving great things. This month, as we celebrate Learning Disabilities Awareness Month, let's remember that IDEA is here to make sure every student has a chance to shine in their own way. Thanks for listening, and remember, accepting ourselves and others is what makes our school a great place to learn.
Hi, I am Miss Wren and I am the annual giving manager here at the Fletcher School. And to sum that up, I basically run the fund that pays for funds that are not covered by tuition. So pays for the lights, pays for programs, pays for our teachers' salaries, and so much more. And I also help with Parents Council as well.
What was school like for you when you first realized you had a learning disability?
I didn't really realize I had a learning disability until I was leaving middle school, but genuinely, when I first started school, I loved it. I got to hang out with my friends. I didn't see myself as different, but I also was in a school where there were 22 kids in my class total, 11 girls, 11 boys, and we were all just best friends with each other. So they never saw me different, and I never saw myself different in school. And it wasn't until, like I said, middle school that when I was in 8th grade, I had a hard time understanding science and math. And I remember we had to do a cross section of a heart and talk about how the blood flows through the heart, and I just could not get it. And it was the first time I realized, because I watched all my classmates finish it and nail their presentations, and I realized in that moment, okay, something's different. It's taken me a little bit longer than everybody else to do things, but that's okay. So from that moment, I did realize there was something, but I thought, hey, this is a strength. It may take me a little longer. Everybody goes their own ways.
Awesome. Can you share an experience where you felt supported or accepted by others in your school community, and how did that make you feel?
Because there is one time, so in high school, I was not good at math and not good at science, and I was in a chemistry class in high school, and my mom, who is a pediatrician, she majored in chemistry in undergrad, and my lab partner, she was looking at doing chemistry for college, and so she was really good at it, and chemistry deals with a lot of numbers, a lot of symbols, just a lot of stuff, and I could not get it. I just genuinely, you could go over it with me 1,000 times and I just was not retaining the information. But I remember we had a giant midterm coming up for chemistry, and all of my friends, a bunch of them, 10 of them, they created an entire presentation for me, did flashcards, did everything just to make sure that I could at least pass the test. And I will always be grateful. I know that they probably didn't do it for me just based off of having ADHD or learning disabilities, but they did it to me genuinely to make sure I was going at the same pace as everyone and that I was succeeding.
Awesome. What advice would you give someone who is working to accept themselves and other members of the community?
What advice I give? Learning to accept yourself takes time. It takes a lot of time. It took years and years. When I went to college, I didn't use the facilities for people with learning disabilities. I didn't use them because I didn't want to be different from everyone. I didn't want to have to leave the classroom to take a test and have unlimited time. And by doing that, I hindered myself, and I wasn't giving myself the fullest extent of what my college was offering me and giving myself all the options. And through that, I learned that I truly wasn't accepting of myself, And it gave me time to look at myself introspectively and say, don't look at these things as a hindrance, look at them as a positive. I tell people ADHD is my superpower. Who else can you have multiple conversations with? I have a world full of jokes, and I am just, I think genuinely, I think I'm a good person, and I like to think my ADHD helps me become that. And so take time to accept yourself. Don't do it right off the bat. Learn about yourself and what you love about yourself. Once you do that, you can fully accept yourself and say, oh my gosh, I am amazing. I have ADHD, I have dyslexia, I have dyscalculia, dysgraphia. This is not a hindrance, it's a superpower. So once you do that, life's gonna be so much better and so much more fun.
Awesome. How did learning about your disability shape your experience in school?
Funny enough, I didn't learn too much about it until I started working at Fletcher. So I remember going to all of the evaluations, talking to the psychiatrist, doing the tests. And when I learned about what ADHD does to the brain when I came here to Fletcher, I learned that, yes, I'm different, but I'm going to take that difference and what I've learned here, and Fletcher School is a wealth of knowledge on ADHD, dyslexia, and all of those things. If you ever need a place to look that up, this is the place. Well, I can tell you how I got to this here.
Yeah.
So a little background on myself. I grew up in Norfolk, Virginia. I went to Longwood University for my undergrad. If no one knows where that is, if you know what Hampton, Sydney is, it's down the street. But I went to Longwood for undergrad, got a degree in art history. You can't really do much with an art history degree unless getting your master's and or your doctorate, and I didn't want to do that. So I worked in law for a little while, and that was great, but I felt like it wasn't my purpose. Then I got my master's in arts management from George Mason University, and I worked in nonprofits for a little bit, and I loved it. I found my calling, helping people, raising money to help causes. And it actually is funny how it led me to working in education. Fletcher reached out to me about a position, and I never thought I'd work at a school. I thought I wanted to be a teacher at one point in life, and my undergrad is actually known for being a teaching college. I thought I wanted to do that. Found out that was not my calling, but once I came to Fletcher, it was basically like a marriage of myself as a person and everything I've experienced and what I want as a career just come together as one, and it's been magical ever since.
Awesome.
Hi, my name is Ava Quinn Parker, and I'm here with
Lincoln Cole.
and Mr. Skinner. Can you introduce yourselves and share what subject or grade level you teach?
Sure. My name is Mr. Skinner. I teach K through 12 here at Fletcher, and I teach music. So if you are in upper school, then you get me for modern ensemble. If you're the rest of the classes, you get me for general music.
Okay. What was school like for you?
It was a mixed bag. It was a little tough sometimes. I was a fidgety kid. I noticed that I like to bite my nails a lot. I like to talk to my neighbors quite a bit. I didn't have a problem with the questions or the answers or the subjects. I was pretty okay with that, but I got bored very quickly, and so I would bother my neighbors, and then I would find myself in the principal's office quite a few times through elementary school.
Okay. When did you realize you had a learning disability?
Never really did until I started teaching here. And then I just kind of realized, oh, I share a lot of common things with a lot of people. I've never really been diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure I have OCD. I never really could concentrate in class unless my books were like lined up on the corner of my desk from like the biggest one to the smallest one in like a pyramid. If that didn't happen, I couldn't make my brain work anywhere else. If there was a smudge on the board, it would bother me. Stuff like that. And then again, I bite my nails constantly, still do. I now carry a file around so that I don't have sharp corners, and that tends to make me not want to do stuff to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you share an experience where you felt supported or accepted by others in your school community?
So I grew up, in the 70s and the 80s, so we did not actually have like a good community like you guys have here. I never really felt like very supported. Felt very kind of alone a lot. I think I got made fun of quite a bit through elementary school into middle school. Got better in high school. Definitely got better in college. So I would say that what you guys are experiencing is probably a little different than what I experienced. I had to figure out my way through a few of my challenges kind of on my own. So that's why I enjoy showing you guys patterns in music. That was the one thing that I kind of understood, and it was pretty easy to me.
What advice would you give to someone working on themselves or accepting themselves in the community?
Patience. Give yourself a lot of patience and grace. Understand you're going to fail probably more than you succeed in the beginning, and then you build little trends for yourself, little things that are going to either help you get past your little difficulties or things that can kind of help you cope. And like I said, it does get better, but it's a slow process. Don't think that like immediately things are just going to go, oh, this is great.
Do you have any discussion questions for students watching this video?
Yes, actually, for you. I would say if you think about what you deal with on a regular basis, what about your challenges makes you a better person at some things? Like I said, music, it's kind of a superpower for me for the OCD because I'm constantly filing stuff into my brain in certain ways, and so it's very easy for me to remember melody lines, chord progressions, songs in general. I would say challenge yourself in thinking about how your uniqueness makes you pretty special.
Well, thank you, and
Thank you.
hope you guys.
Thank you guys. Have a good day.
I think everybody in a way knew something was different, but no one ever came up to me and talked about it. But can you repeat the question? I just lost
Yeah.
it. That's how ADHD works. I started going
Yeah.
on a train of thought, and then if you want it in real time, there you go, people. ADHD in real time.